Tom is one of two people who have a higher seniority level than I do. So
don't forget it either.
Right. I don't forget that. Hey, when did you start?
January 7th, 1987.
Yeah, and how did you come to Keller?
A gentleman by the name of Dave Bakel.
Yeah.
Dave worked at the Johns Manville plant here in just behind us, if you can picture where the Plant 8 Manville plant is.
Mm-hmm.
I met him while he were working for a farmer over in Paulding. And,
is that Nuneman?
Yeah, Bob Nuneman.
Yeah.
And talked to Bob the other day, so learned a lot from the man. So anyhow, so Dave would come work there, then come over there and farm because he loved to farm. Well, he got fired for sleeping. And in the process of the negotiations or whatever to get his job back, he started washing trucks and trailers over to at Keller Trucking.
Ah.
He was one of 5 Bakels on the payroll. Yeah, Dan, Walt, Jerry, Dave, Glenn. Did I get that right? I hope so.
I think
5,
so.
Right? That's 5. But so when the business rep or whatever got Dave his job back, Tom Keller asked Dave if he knew anybody that would be a good fit for us, and he recommended me quite highly. When I worked for Bob, I was the bin man, as Bob would say, the easiest job on the farm, which I don't really
agree with.
Yeah. So I was pretty good at shoveling, upgrade bins, and good top half motor skills. You know, I can good range of motion, and everything. So I was the man for washing trailers, and I remember I come in. Tom interviewed me, and I walked in the office, and his face just kind of lit up, and I don't understand.
Tom's face lit up?
Yeah, and I don't, whether he could just read people or...
absolutely he could.
He's seen a poor farm boy or something, you know, or he just...
So if you started in 87, we already had the terminal. We built the terminal in 86, so you came into the new building then.
Yeah, it was a year old then, so...
Yeah. So I know my first year here was 88, and so you had a 1-year head start on washing trailers, but I couldn't keep up with you. Chase you around trailers, washing trailers. It was you're a hard worker. Yeah.
And it's you just put yourself into it, and I don't know if I'm a daydreamer or what. But a lot of people, when they stop, I had the ability to daydream and move. So people would ask me, says, "Don't you ever get sick of washing trailers?" And I said, "I got sick of it the second day." You know, you just took your mind out of it. You just did it. And it's almost relaxing. I mean, it's like people play golf or something like that. I don't never been on a golf course other than wrecked my motorcycle one time, slid across one. That's the only time I've been on a golf course. But it's. Yeah, be happy in what you're doing, I guess.
Yep.
You know, it don't have to be.
When did you first start driving truck?
This is a really interesting story. I was in the wash bay. I stayed at wash bay. I'm a German heritage. It's wash. We wash. It's there's no R in wash, but there should be. It's wash. So in the wash bay, and Tom came over and said, "Do you ever think about getting your chauffeur's license?" And I said, "I got one." And his eyes kind of lit up. And then a little bit later, Dan came over and said, "You ever think about getting your chauffeur's license?" And I've got my chauffeur's license. "Well, why do you have a chauffeur's license?" And I said, "Well, a friend of mine's dad was going to try to get me in delivering propane at Bryson Gas, was the name of the place at the time. So, of course, that fell through. There was no way they was going to hire a 19-year-old kid to drive a boom boom around the countryside.
Be a suicide jockey, right?
Yeah. Which back then there was no hazmat. There was you get your chauffeur's license. You took a 50 question test, and you had a chauffeur's license. So
right.
So then Tom came back over a little bit later and says, "Have you ever been to Saginaw?" And I said, "Nope, never been to Saginaw." And about 15 minutes later, Dan Bagel came over and said, "Have you ever been to Saginaw? Did you ever ride up there with Walt or Jerry or anybody?" And I said, "No, never been there." So Tom come out about 10 minutes later and says, "Well, Tom, you're going to Saginaw." So they put me in I was going up to recover we had a wreck. A driver by the name of Gary Ziffel, who's no longer alive, I don't believe.
I don't think he is, yeah.
Gary had kind of a rash of bad luck there, and he wrecked his truck. And anyhow, this truck got recovered. The trailer got took to Saginaw and loaded. So they gave me 2312, 400 horsepower Cummins, 13 speed.
13 speed.
Yep, top speed 75 mile an hour. And I had to follow Walt up there, bobtail. Okay, so I'm bobtailing behind Walt. Walt had 2340, 350 Cummins, 9 speed, 65 mile an hour. And I did everything I could to keep up with that man. Everything I could to keep up. And he's got a loaded trailer. You know, they said, Walt will take it easy on you. Walt did not take it easy on me. Walt never catches a red light. He always gets a green light. If you're following him, you're going to get the yellow.
Red light.
Yep, you're going to get the red light.
Yeah. But you are a hard worker yourself. I remember when I was here, I wanted to go out and have a beer with you one night, and I think I showed up at 9 o'clock, and you're like, I got 2 more trailers to load, and you came in at 7, and you'd work till the work was done.
I think I said this in the book I don't remember or not, but it was Mother's Day, and they need somebody to haul the milk tanker. Mm-hmm. It's Sunday, the milk over to Charlotte. And,
yep.
They're sitting there racking their brain. Now, who can we get to do that? And Tom had an epiphany, and he said it out loud. He said, well, Tomcat ain't got a mom. And I tell you what, he crushed. I mean, he found somebody else. He felt so bad for saying that. But it was an idea, you know, he's going through the facts here, you know, how can I get somebody to do this on Mother's Day? Well, hey, and another thing, it's going to sound kind of crude, but they figured out I had a commercial driver's license, and I was pretty much an orphan, so it was like no holds barred after that. It was work. Tom had no problem in pushing you down the road, which and I had no problem doing it.
So you hadn't drove a truck before, you jumped in a truck, you went to Saginaw, followed Walt, and brought that trailer back.
Yeah, brought a wrecked trailer back.
Yep.
And then, I would do the milk. Milk tanker, that's 7 days a week, that's every day. So I'd fill the milk and fill it on the milk tanker.
So what year did you take over the shop?
93. I had 3.5 years Dan Bakel. I had 3.5 years of Jerry Bakel. I started in 87, so 7 to 7 comes out to 94, but somehow it was 93, I believe. So I took that over.
So what's your favorite memory of Tom Keller?
Well, you could call him up in the middle of the night. I mean, I probably called him like 1 o'clock in the morning one time. My hobby was to haul steel. One or two nights a week, that was my hobby. I'd go to Monroe, Michigan and haul steel.
Yep.
I always had a 3 a.m. appointment up there. But it seems like something came up one time, and I had to give him a call. It's probably like, I don't know, 2 in the morning or something like that. I must have been en route. And caught the phone on the second ring. And said hello. He said, what's wrong, Louie? And I said, no, I'm not Louie. Oh, Tomcat, what's wrong?
I'm amazed at how you can take all these phone calls from varying people, keep it straight, and for the most part, I think all the time, but you're probably going to tell me 90% of the time, you are very curious and helpful to everyone who comes to you for help. Yeah,
and I like that 90%. I'm a 90% guy. You can do the 90% staying on your head, but you try to get that last 10%, you try to make it perfect, you will
make yourself miserable.
You will just destroy yourself trying to get that last 10%. I mean,
well, that's a good lesson. You don't have to do 100%. You got to do your best every day and try to hit a high mark and just do that high mark well, 9 out of 10 times. That's a great lesson. How about your philosophy? Talk to the group about there is no tomorrow.
You came up to me one time and he says, I need you to do this right here, and we can do it tomorrow. And don't put off tomorrow what you can do today.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow's got cares of its own. I mean, tomorrow's going to be...
Well, in our business too, that things change so fast, and that trailer you didn't service might be loaded and gone the next day, and you may not see it for a month. You know, so I always thought that was a great mantra certainly in the maintenance business.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a slippery slope. You start letting stuff slide, and doing a grease job on a Saturday. Well, I'm going to skip air and tires. No, I'm not, because that if there's a low tire on there, it's going to be flat Sunday night. Guess what? My phone's going to ring. So
yeah. we have the best maintenance. All our drivers rave about it, and it's because of that philosophy. You know, you don't go home until everything is to perfection. You said one time, you know, our job is to provide safe vehicles, safe equipment for our drivers. I thought it was profound.
I don't remember saying that. It was muscle memory, I guess.
It was back in the late '90s. You know, you'd been running the shop for a little while, and you said that, and I was impressed. Mm-hmm. Yep. I want to thank you for all the years of great work you've done for us. There is, you know, there's only a few employees that you have that don't matter who the manager is or who the person is, you know who to go to when you want something done, and that's you, Tom. And our success is a lot of your hard work and dedication to your job and helping out others. And I think your 90% rule is just, it's a fantastic takeaway here for everyone. And you know, in maintenance, there is no tomorrow. That equipment needs fixed today, and that's why our drivers love our maintenance department. And besides the fact that whatever they need done, you just do, and you get the whole staff trained to. I don't care if you're working on this trailer. If a person needs a windshield wiper, it gets put on. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's important. A lot of companies don't do that. Yeah. Well, I thank you. I thank your wife Donna for sharing you with us and being your rock to be so successful here. I really appreciate it, Tom.
Well, look forward to another 30-some.